2, 1, 2, 1 and 2. Here we go. Folks, good morning again, and welcome to the Grand Ballroom here at the Westin. We are going to spin through our Atlantic programs today, and we will start with Florida State. We have a tight timeline today. We will visit with each of our coaches for 15 minutes, each of our student athletes for 5 minutes at a time. We have 2 mic holders roving the room. If you are to ask a question, please raise your hand like this gentleman in the first row to the right, and please stand so that we might be able to capture you visually from the podium and the camera. First question here, please. Stand. We'll wait on the microphone to get hot. Go ahead, sir. Try it again.
Hey, Coach. It's Chris Heidel from Herbertson Radio in Baltimore. So last year was a tough season. Started out 0-3, and everything was going well. What did you learn in that process of going winning 4 in a row that almost got to a bowl game?
Well, last year was a year of great opportunities for us, and it didn't start the way that we wanted, but as a football team, being able to show a response, show an identity, it was there were a lot of lessons that were learned, and it builds to a lot of excitement for what's ahead. And as we went through this last season, and you see the growth, the development, really setting a foundation, and the relationships that were built throughout those experiences, and the great number of guys that we have coming back for this season, and some of the new additions we've been able to bring into our program, it's been an incredible off season. And to see the growth and development of our players, the confidence that they've shown, because you build confidence through work. You build confidence through experience. And even last year, in times of maybe some disappointing results, the belief and the buy-in of where we're going is something that has our players, has our coaches, has our entire program excited for what the future holds. And I think this offseason's been incredible. Guys have done a great job. You see the physical development, the mental development, just the confidence that they're approaching every day just to improve and to go be their best. And we talk about that a lot within our program. And I think our football team and the players that we have are doing a great job of showing that on a consistent basis. And now we have an opportunity ahead. And we're definitely excited about being able to kick off in week 0 and just to be able to get on the field and to start this journey for this 2022 Florida State football team, and being able to showcase the identity of who we are and what we're all about.
Coach, directly in front of you, next question, front row.
Coach Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. We know that after this season, divisions are gone and we're going to a 3-5-5 model. Just what you can say about the discussions of that, and if you were for working toward a model that's going to be maybe more advantageous for the future of the college football playoff.
Well, first off, I want to thank the ACC. I know Michael Strickland, Commissioner Phillips. I mean, just the involvement, the communication with the coaches, the involvement of all that, trying to find the best model, trying to be able to put together a structure and a system that allows it a great experience for our student athletes, and what they're going to be able to accomplish through the 3-5-5 model is something that I truly think is special. To be able to go and play in every venue throughout that 4-year period of time is unique, and it makes sure it ensures them the complete collegiate experience here in the ACC, and then being able to pair up the best 2 teams within each season to be able to play in a championship game. I do think is a special opportunity, and so I do appreciate the ACC. I appreciate all the things that went into that, and just the collaborative approach that they took in being able to find the best model for the ACC moving forward.
Coach, hard right near the sound stand, the gentleman that's standing.
Irish OFL, warchant.com. Coach, with you playing a week 0 game, when will you get started in camp, and how does that change preparation in any way?
Well, we report next Tuesday, and so we'll be on the practice field Wednesday, which that it is an accelerated process. It is it's been something that it adds to that sense of urgency from back in May when we were able to report to every day that's led up throughout our summer program. And our guys, they've done an incredible job. They've done an incredible job with their approach, but we know that being able to start off in week 0 is something I'm excited about. It does present some logistical challenges with guys finishing up summer school and different things like that. But to be able to start the season there at Doak Campbell Stadium, it's going to be a great experience. It'll be a great opportunity for our football team, and definitely looking forward to being able to get on the field here this next week and starting that process.
Coach, to your left, third row.
Bob Holliday, WRL.com. When you think about the storied history of Florida State, Coach, you think about kickoffs taken back to the house or dynamic punt returns. You were 10th in kick returns last year and 12th in punt returns. What's the potential to improve in those areas this year, and how important is it?
Well, I mean, it's critically important, and the growth of our special teams units is something that that we have emphasized throughout this off season. Excited about the playmakers that we have within our program that I believe will help elevate that performance, and it's just the opportunity to go out there and execute and put guys in the best position to make those incredible plays, because that's what we want to be known for. And when you look at the history of Florida State, like you mentioned, I mean, this is a program that's built for playmakers, and it's one that that standard has been established, and we're working tirelessly to make sure that we get back to that standard of performance in our special teams units. And I know our players are excited about the investment we put into it and the opportunity that's ahead.
Coach, follow the center aisle to the right, gentleman standing.
Hey, Mike Barber from the Richmond Times-Dispatch. Throughout your career, what have you found in terms of experience level from your quarterback and how it dictates maybe how quickly you progress through fall camp?
I think that as you watch quarterback growth, I mean, it's the driver of any offense. And I'll tell you that with Jordan being here and just seeing his growth and the ownership of this position and the opportunity that he has, you look at the growth from this last season, as he went through the year, and just the confidence that started to show up within all of the experiences that he had on the field, the continued growth in the meeting room, and now he's making it his. And I'm so excited about that room and the future that Jordan has, because that definitely pushes everything within our offense forward at an accelerated rate. And so we had a great spring. Seeing the guys out there this summer and being able to get in the meeting room and just hearing the ownership and the understanding of what we're trying to accomplish, but then still being able to tailor it to the playmakers that we have. And I think we have a great foundation that's been built, but I do believe the sky's the limit for what these guys can accomplish because of the work that they put in and the great talents that they have.
Coach, we'll go back to Dan in the front row right in front of you.
Mike, to take a look at name, image, and likeness, we're a season through it, but obviously there's not a lot of regulation and no central kind of ruling body on how to handle it. So what can you say the message has been to the student athletes at Florida State, and how are you handling it?
Well, I'm excited for the NIL opportunities for all student athletes, for them to be able to have those experiences, to be able to benefit on the work that they put in and the name and the brand that they've built throughout their high school and college careers. It is special for them, and ultimately, those opportunities, are unique to each individual. They're being able to do something that nobody before them has in being able to benefit upon that. Our thing is we want to make sure that we help educate as much as possible, be able to provide those resources and platforms for our student athletes to be able to dig into and to make sure that they're making the most well-educated decisions on their future, on how they're building their brand, how they're being able to share the message from their platform that they've been able to create. And then being at a place like Florida State, I mean, it's a special opportunity, and for them to be showcased the way that they are, and obviously the tremendous support that we have. I mean, we're excited about the opportunity for the student athletes, but I'm excited for where the future of college football is going, and where what that path's going to look like as we continue to work down through all the new additions within college athletics.
We have about 5 minutes left with Coach. We're going to go to the very back of the room. Coach, she'll stand at the aisle.
I'm Katrina Sacken with Sports and Cultural Media. Coach, you spoke on the kind of logistic issues that you were going to face heading into week 0. What are those, and kind of can you elaborate on that, as well as simultaneously what are you focusing on with your guys?
Well, it's about that constant daily improvement, and some of the logistical challenges are just the earlier start, having to work through, finishing, summer school classes and some of the things that kind of present themselves with just the daily schedule. But one of the great things that has been adjusted and adapted with the NCAA this year is we got a couple extra days to be able to work with. So now we have 25 practices in a 31-day period of time, which allows a couple more off days. It allows us to give more rest and recovery for our players throughout that fall camp schedule. And so I'm excited about being able to transition to that new schedule, and obviously just building to being the best that we can possibly be with every opportunity that we have during fall camp. And it's going to be a great kickoff for us. There's a lot of excitement around the program, but then it also does provide, playing week 0, it does provide a couple where we'll have 2 bye weeks this upcoming fall, and I kind of like how that schedule presents for our football team throughout the season.
Coach, your last question. The very back of the room now standing to the right.
Hey, Coach. Luke Winstill, Clemson Sports Talk. So a lot of people talk about expectations right now. For you, how would you describe what a successful season or what your expectations are for success at Florida State this year?
We have great expectations, and the daily expectation with the season expectation is for us to go out there and be our best, to improve daily, to go out there and not only be competitive, but to push to new limits of where we are and also where we're going. To see this team come together and to play as one. Those are the things that we've seen that have, in laying that foundation this last year, and to be able to see the growth, to see the confidence that our players have. I'm going to put no limits to what these guys can accomplish. I've got an unbelievable amount of confidence in them, but ultimately for us, it's about us showing up every single day and going to perform and to execute at that level with an incredible level of consistency throughout that process. But we have great expectations as a program. When you're at Florida State, I mean that's part of it. And you don't choose to come play at Florida State. You don't choose to coach at Florida State unless you embrace that opportunity and embrace those expectations to go out there and play at an extremely high level on a day in and day out basis.
Coach, thank you. We'll let you take a seat, and we'll bring up defensive tackle Fabian Lovett, who will spend about 5 minutes with us. Folks, same routine. Even though you may have asked a question, the student athletes would still like to be introduced to you. Fabian, we'll bring the microphone to the front row right in front of you, and we'll get our first question at the end of the table.
Fabian, Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. Just what you can say about Jermaine Johnson II, what you learned from him and being on that defensive line together, maybe some of those things you take into this season, and secondly, how you've grown as a leader as you step forward.
I've learned a lot from Jermaine. He's one of the guys that helped me click and have a breakout game, understand like the importance of my growth and the dominance that I can have and that I will have. And he showed me like what it's like to have somebody on the outside of you that helps on when you get double teams, to the guy that makes the plays that you can make also. And as far as me being a leader, I've grown tremendously with the help of Coach Norvell, Coach Odell, and just being around the guys and building better relationships with them. It's all about being able to be respected and being able to show the same respect that you want from others.
Fabian, if you want, push the microphone up just a little bit. You got a little bit more height on Coach. Coach, no offense.
I got you.
Fabian, I'll ask a question from the podium. Last year, you won the Bobby Bowden Leadership Award. Describe your style of leadership.
I'll probably say I'm a grow to learn leader, if that makes sense. Like I grow and I watch people as I go along and just watch how they react to certain things and how they react to other teammates and coaches and players, and that's just how I go off, how I react to them and how I respond to them, or find ways that will push buttons to help them being more encouraged to do things.
Thank you, Fabian. Look right up the aisle to your right, gentleman who's standing at this point.
How you doing, Fabian? This is Cortland Griffin with the three-point conversion. I noticed, man, you were the number 0 as a big man in the middle of the defense. That takes a lot of swagger, man. Can you elaborate on your approach to the game, your attitude, and does that number mean more to you that you were an unorthodox number in the middle of the defense?
My approach to the game is just to be dominant, like just to, when the next team prepare to watch my film, be like, whoa, like you get down in front of me, you're scared to line up, you're shaking your stance. I see that a lot when I play, but that's what I want. That's what I want. When the offensive line lines up in front of me or a guard lines up in front of me, they know I'm going to bring the power. They know I'm going to bring the dominance.
Fabian, all the way to the back of the room, the gentleman standing.
Hey, Fabian Aslan of WarChant.com. I know in football, momentum's a hard thing to kind of carry over from year to year, but what happened for this defense last season in the second half of the season that maybe has you feeling optimistic about what you guys can be this coming year?
Really nothing. It's just the details. We locked in more on our details and the little things that we needed to focus on more. It wasn't a tremendous thing that we needed to change. It was just we just needed to lock in and be able to keep everything going and focus better.
Fabian, on the center aisle to your left, the gentleman in the teal shirt getting ready to stand for us.
Thank you. Hey Fabian, John Eads with Orange Fizz. I'm curious as to what Jared Verse has added to the defensive line room coming from the FCS ranks, and if you think that players from that level can make that jump so quickly.
Honestly, I feel like all competition is the same across the board. Wherever you come from, if you're a dog, you're a dog. Jared Verse is a dog. That's the type of guy we need. He has the speed, he has the power. So I feel like he's going to be a great help this year.
Fabian, from the podium again, I want to follow up on my leadership question. When the season opened up last year with 3 losses, what did you do as a leader to keep everybody focused? Whatever you did must have helped because you guys didn't roll off 3 in a row.
Next game, next play mentality. We shouldn't be focused on the 3 losses that we already had. We can't do nothing about that. It's time to focus on the next game and let's win the next one.
We're going to go back to the 3rd row to your left, Fabian, gentleman with the glasses.
Bob Holliday, WRL.com, Fabian. You returned your entire defense except for the defensive ends. Dan referred to Jermaine. You also lost Kerr. You guys are 5th in tackles for loss last year, one of the best performances in the ACC. Where does the pressure come from? Who takes their spots?
We have Derek McLendon, Jared Verse, Dennis Briggs, who are also great players. It's just, it took them some time to shine. You know, it's a process. You're not going to get everything overnight. Football is a process. It's a learning experience. But as far as our DNs, we have Derek McLendon, Jared Verse, Dennis Briggs, Leonard Fournette, and some young guys who will play a big role this year for us.
Fabian, your last question will come to your right, 2nd row.
Hey, Fabian. Chris Idell from Herb FM Radio in Baltimore. The first 3 games were really close, close losses. What did you guys learn from those close losses that might help you this year, knowing you could have to finish these games instead of, trying to close them out?
Just focus on finishing the game and not focusing on so much on the score right now. Focus on each play, everything that's going on. Don't just focus because we're winning and we're up now. It's all about finishing the game strong. If you don't finish the game strong, you still can lose no matter what the score is.
Fabian, thank you. You'll switch places now with Jamie Robinson,
Yes, sir.
DB Richard Jr. And we're going to get your first question, Jamie, to the right up the aisle. If you'll please stand. Thank you.
Cortland Griffin with 3-point conversion. Jamie, you bring that dog. Your teammate Fabian just talked about it. You a dog or you're not, right? You bring that dog to the game, to this defense. You had 4 games last year where you had 10+ tackles as a DB. Man, is that like something you go out and you look to do, or is that something that just comes as a part of your game?
Well, me personally, that's just how I was brought up. Like, my mom raised me like that, you feel me? So it's just in me. Like, it's just in me. That's how I was born. But honestly, I just take the blueprint that the coaches laid out, and I just go and attack every day. That's how I am. I just got that dog. That's it, really.
Jamie, right in front of you to the left.
Jamie, Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. To go off of that, describe not only yours, but overall, how would you define Florida State swagger?
I mean, I grew up watching Florida State, but that wasn't my first home. Florida State my second home, but just the atmosphere and just Florida State. When Florida State winning, everybody loves Florida State. So it's just our main focus is just to get us back on that wave, just to get us winning and getting Florida State back to where it's supposed to be. That's our main thing, just working and getting us back to where we're supposed to be at.
Jamie, to your right, the very back of the room, gentleman who is standing.
Jamie Aslan Hajavandi with WarChant.com. If you look at your guys' back end of the defense from week 1 to like week 12, and the starting lineup was completely different. What have you guys been able to accomplish chemistry-wise with you, Akeem, Amarian, everybody on the back end, and that's made you guys confident this upcoming season? And do you think you guys will be maybe a strength of the defense, the back end?
I mean, that's our main thing, because last year, as y'all seen it, like you just said, each week it was kind of different. Like, we had a different lineup, but me going in just trying to be a leader, because I'm not just that vocal leader. I always just try to be the guy to lead by example. So just going there and just to attack every day and just be consistent with everything, because that's the main thing. We play DB, so one mistake and it's a touchdown, and everybody in the stadium is gonna see it. So it's like we all got to be on the same accord. We all got to be locked in together, and that's what we're trying to create, that oneness together as a team.
Switch to your left, Jamie, third row.
Bob Holliday, WRL.com. Jamie, only 3 teams in the Atlantic Coast Conference had more interceptions than Florida State last year. You've got your entire secondary back. How dangerous is it going to be to throw against you guys this year?
It's going to be real dangerous. We just going to follow the blueprint that the coaches got for us, and we're going to execute every play.
Jamie, thank you. We've got a gentleman next.
Hey, Jamie. John Eads with Orange Fizz. I'm curious as to how you've seen the differences between the SEC and the ACC, because you started your career at South Carolina. Kind of what are the differences between the level of competition and how teams play?
I mean, it really ain't no difference. It's all football. Like Fable said earlier, it don't matter where you play at. It don't matter who you playing against, who you line up in front of. It's football. Been playing football since I was like 3 or 4 years old, so it's always a confidence thing. You always got to be confident. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. It ain't no difference. Probably the speed of the game. You know, the ACC we run a lot of RPOs and stuff like that, so a lot of passing game. That's the main difference I can say. Just from the SEC, they gonna ground and pound with the football. They gonna try to run the ball down your throat, but in the ACC it's kind of different. They gonna spread and more RPO and stuff like that. So that's when I got to the ACC. That's how I was trying to better my man coverage skills, and that's another thing. Like the ACC, they throwing the ball, so I'm just trying to get better at that.
Jamie, to your right, second row.
Hey, Jamie, Chris Idell from Herbert Radio in Baltimore. How fun was that spring game this year? Because it seemed like you had a great time with all the alumni coming back and all that. I guess that was one of those exciting springs for you.
Oh yeah, for sure. Cause like you said earlier, our whole group came back. Pretty much our whole team, and just during the spring, like 90% of our team was already here. So we hit the ground rolling pretty fast and ahead of most teams and stuff, as far as in just like the guys coming in early and stuff like that. So you know, it was a plus for us all just to get that brotherhood, create that brotherhood, and you know, we live by clown, commitment, little things, intensity, mental toughness, and brotherhood. So you feel me? We all just try to go throughout every day and get better every day, 1% better.
Jamie, your last question from the podium here. You're animated both on the field and on the sidelines. Where does this animation come from?
Animated.
You seem to be all over the map, big smile.
Oh,
body.
yeah. You know, just like y'all say, NIL, you know, you're trying to get that image. So I'm trying to get my image up. That's it.
Jamie, that's a great way to finish. How about you switch places with Jordan?
All right, thank you.
Memories at the ACC kickoff media events. Jordan, your first question down the aisle to the right.
Hey, Jordan, Mike Barber from the Richmond Times-Dispatch. You might have heard me ask Coach, but experience level at your position, how does that kind of factor into what you can do both as a leader and maybe giving input back to the coaching staff?
I would say, I've been through a lot, so I've had a lot of ups and downs throughout my career. I've learned a lot. I've been around a lot of different coaches. I've been around a lot of different leaders. James Blackman, Mackenzie Milton, they showed me the way. At the end of the day, I look up to them. I still call them every single day just to get that feedback that I need whenever I have a question about leading the guys. Trying to be more vocal. I'm a reserved guy, so I'm just trying to speak a little bit more and get the guys behind me.
Jordan, to your right, fourth row, gentleman standing.
Hey, Jordan, Essex there with the Old Gold and Black. Last year, you went up to Winston-Salem against Wake Forest, and splitting snaps, you guys had your biggest loss of the season. How do you flip the script this time around?
Honestly, man, I don't really think much of last year. It's in the past. We're just gonna keep growing. We're gonna come to work every single day and get better. That's all that matters, is being better than you were yesterday. It's all in the confidence for this football team. We have all the talent in the world. Like Coach Norvell said, the confidence comes from the work, and we've been working really hard this summer. So,
Going to switch to the left side now. Fourth row, gentleman about to stand. Thank you.
Hey, Jordan, John Dales, WAER. Earlier this week, you got added to the Maxwell preseason award watch list. Is that something that you think about, and how much does that impact how you go into this season?
I try not to get caught up in that. It really matters what's at the end of the season. It's a blessing from the man upstairs, and I'm very grateful for that. But I just try to focus on this football team and getting wins for this football team, and just coming to work every single day and being a leader that I need to be.
We're going to stay on the left side, all the way towards the aisle. Young lady standing up.
Hi Jordan, I'm Mary Denchemont from Clemson Insider. With 8% more of your passes completed this season, what goals do you have set to improve upon that?
We got some new weapons. I've been working really hard on just technique, all the little parts of the game, sitting in the pocket and not trying to scramble every single time. I've been working really hard. But yeah, the offensive line's been working really hard to give me some time. So yeah, I can't wait. It's gonna be a great year.
Also on the left side, about 6-7 rows up.
Hey Jordan, Tony Siracusa from Last Word on Sports. The ACC is very quarterback heavy. A lot of great talent at the quarterback position. I'm sure Coach Norvell would say you're just going to focus on what you do and leave it there. But honestly, just among us here, do you ever catch yourself looking at the game from any of the Sam Hartman or anyone else in the conference and take a look at what they did compared to how you're doing?
I try not to compare myself with anybody, but I do watch those guys. There's a bunch of great quarterbacks across all college football. I used to play with Malik Cunningham. He's a great player. Still talk to him till today. So yeah, I watch them. I try not to compare, but yeah, they're all great players.
Jordan left side, third row.
Bob Halliday, WRL.com. You return 3 starting wide receivers. What does that extra time with those guys do for your comfort level this year as you stay in the pocket behind the improved offensive line?
It means a lot. It means a lot. We have a lot of competition now. We have competition at every single position. We got guys that push each other. So yeah, obviously that means a lot. I'm very comfortable with all those guys. We work very hard. We have our little player ran practices that we throw routes on air. We did that a lot this spring, this summer. So we're just gonna keep growing and getting better every day.
Jordan, back to Dan in the front row right in front of you.
Dan Tortora, wakeupcalldt.com. You spoke about the guys you keep in touch with. Being with Mackenzie Milton last year and you guys both having to, lead this offense, just what you can say you took away from having to share that space and what it's like now to move forward yourself.
Mackenzie was my guy. It's like one of my best friends. I used to watch him and look up to him when I was in high school and he was at UCF. Mackenzie taught me a lot. I mean, obviously he's had a rough journey, but it made him who he is today. I learned a lot. I mean, the way he led as soon as he got into the room, he was a really respectable guy. Never stepped on anybody's toes. He's just a really special person. But moving forward now, I just bring all that stuff together and try to just keep picking his mind. I was on the phone with him last night. Yeah, just trying to grow every day.
Florida State, thank you for the time this morning. Coach, good luck. Gentlemen, have fun. Wake Forest is due up in the room next at 11:30. Again, we'll go 15 minutes with the coach, 5 with each of our student athletes.